Hi,
That's
dude.
good enough.
All right, good enough.
Oh, is she working on you, Fred?
Hey,
All right. Hey,
why not?
Fred, ignore
I'm a good
Fred
guy,
forgets
Robin.
about her.
Well, I don't make my mother get out of the car and walk home either. Okay, so
Did I do
shut
that?
your mouth.
No.
Shut your mouth on that side of the road.
Who did that?
Well, Robin did tell us one time. I don't know if he made her walk out of the car, but Robin did tell us one
You
time.
all got
No, Robin threw her mother out of the apartment.
Right. Robin's mother got there at like 2 o'clock, and she was back on a bus
Well,
by
at least she's
4.
consistent.
Yeah. So, like, point the finger at me.
I just think it's odd.
I'm a real rotten guy.
I just think it's
Why don't you work with
Admit it, you
why don't
used
you
your
work with the
parents.
mother
You
abuser over
used your parents. You used them when you had no friends. You used them and now you dropped
Twist the
them.
word a little more.
You used your parents.
used
You're a
my parents.
user.
Right.
User.
Right.
You used them.
Right.
You're a user.
Right.
You're a user.
Right.
User.
Right. King
Jump
of
in,
fighting that
Gary. I ain't
BS.
Yeah, he used it for food and shelter.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of Fred. There you go. All right, good enough. What?
Step in the ring. We'll see how afraid you are. Man.
Oh.
A ring. He
You want to
wants
box
fight
me?
you?
Now you're going to fight me?
I'll box you in a second.
Oh, no, because don't fight him. He fights like a mental
Fred,
patient.
if you hurt me,
You want to know something? I'll hurt you like a mental patient. How's that?
but Fred, if you hurt me,
Yeah.
Your
you
job's
have no
over.
job.
I'll have to find
What
a
if
new
I can't
skill.
do-
Howard, I'll find a new skill.
Fred,
I'll
I don't
find
think
a
it's
new
there.
skill.
No
You don't
offense.
think? Well,
I've yet to see it.
Well, maybe you don't look for it, Howard.
Yeah, you'll be back in Hartford.
How about if you
Wherever I
fight...
gotta be,
Fred, you better
Howard.
hope that if there's a fight that happens, you better be the first one to jump in and protect it.
How about if you fight me and Gary and Howard?
Yeah, what about all three of us?
Like that-
I bet you can't take all three of us.
Like that pay-per-view where you're all in a cage.
Yeah.
Which I could.
I would never fight Fred.
I know.
I'm not stupid.
Well, that's
Not
the first,
without weapons,
That's the
Howard.
first smart
Yeah.
thing you've said this morning.
Can we carry weapons?
How's your mom, Fred?
How's yours?
All right, very good. Okay.
He's coming over to console.
So quickly he wants to punch me.
I know. I can't believe
interesting.
he wanted to resort to violence.
Interesting.
You can't even talk to
All
him.
right, let's take a few phone calls. There's somebody yelling in the background, but I'm not interested.
We didn't finish talking about Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie the limo driver.
Yes, the Vicky Show.
Right.
Such a jerk, man.
Oh.
Hey, Ronnie's a good guy. What do you call him,
No,
a
I said
jerk?
you're-
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you who the jerk is.
Who's the jerk?
Vicky for calling Ronnie instead of Fred.
So Vicki Lawrence, Carol Burnett wannabe, wants to have Ronnie the limo driver on. So we said to ourselves, well, why would you have Ronnie the limo driver? What is the theme of the show? Now we know who else is going to be on the show
Oh, you
with
do?
Ronnie. Yes,
Ooh.
I'm happy to announce that. Problem is, we still can't figure out the theme of the show.
All right, tell me who's on.
All right, this makes no sense. He told me this morning, but Gary, you seem to have a memory.
Okay, the theme, the people that will be on the show is the guy from The Price is Right that yells, "Come on down."
Johnny Olson?
Yeah.
Isn't Johnny Olson?
Oh, he's on Jeopardy. Johnny...
No, isn't Johnny Olson's dead?
Yeah.
Well, who's the guy?
Johnny
from the
Bashivis Singer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That guy will be on.
Johnny, Fred, you know the name. Johnny Martling. Johnny Martling.
Then there's a woman.
How's your mother, Fred? All right, Johnny Martling. All right, do whatever you want, man.
You can't ask a question.
You can't ask a question? It was rhetorical. You don't need to answer. Johnny Martling.
No, I need to answer. Howard, I need to
Go
answer.
ahead.
No, Howard, I need to answer.
Go ahead.
I can't
It's
talk.
all right, you can talk.
I need to answer.
Go ahead.
No, Howard, I need to Please answer, Howard.
There's a
I
woman
need to
who
answer,
does
Howard. No,
body
seriously.
makeup.
I need to answer.
A woman who does body
Answer,
makeup?
Howard.
Oh,
I really
boy.
need to answer.
You're done now.
No,
There's a
I
woman
really,
who-
I really need
You
to
have work to do.
I am doing my work, Howard. I need to answer.
It must be a holiday.
Isn't it time for some kind of sound effect or something?
Yeah, I'm doing it now,
Yeah, the
right?
sound effects die.
Fred, your mic's off. Why are you talking?
No, because I feel it's...
Well, I'll let you talk when I want you to.
Oh, okay, King.
All right. Now you've addressed me properly.
Hey, Massa. You're a high potentate in this program.
I am your master. Remember that.
That's right.
You are my boy.
Thank you very kindly. And now take a breath now, sir.
All right, go ahead.
There's a woman who does body makeup.
Yes.
Like Ronnie said, she does things like where she gets, she puts makeup on stars' cleavage to make them look like they're bigger. That's
All right. So far, there's a woman who
An
puts
announcer?
Johnny
Somebody.
a woman who puts makeup on people
On their cleavage.
on their cleavage.
and a guy who trains insects for movies and television.
Wow. And Ronnie the limo driver.
Yeah, I think he said he thought the theme of the show was odd jobs in show business.
But
Ronnie's not in show business.
why are you saying "Come on down" is an odd job in show business, and how is Ronnie in show business?
Yeah, Ronnie's...
Ronnie just drives people for a
It's
living.
not
Just
a
so happens he
job.
drives me.
There's a lot of people with limos.
He's a limo driver to the star,
Oh.
I think is what their premise is.
I think it's all messed up.
That's weird. They don't have any relationship to each other at all.
I think the insect guy and the cleavage lady belong on one show.
Yeah.
Johnny Olsen, or whatever his name is, belongs on another show.
It's like
And Ronnie
Ronnie
belongs
should
on
be
a third show.
on a third show.
It's like an SAT question.
Right.
What doesn't belong here?
What doesn't fit? But I'll tune in.
Well, because Ronnie also drives a lot of other celebrities besides you, and I think maybe they're going for that. Or maybe
Oh,
they
really?
just want to know about you.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's take some phone calls, or do we have to take a break, Fred?
Maybe they understand what Vicky's up to.
Maybe Fred understands what Vicky's up to.
I probably do, but you wouldn't want to ask me anyway.
All right. Oh, come on. Lighten up, dude.
Oh, lighten up yourself.
You remember how we were laughing at Jessica Hahn a few minutes ago?
Suddenly, Jessica's stable. All right, what did you want to say?
About what?
I know you were yelling back there. You had
about
something
your
to
mother.
say.
No, I just feel like I'm unfairly represented on this program, so that's all I have to
Go join the club.
say. Who misrepresents you?
That's my show.
See? Who misrepresents Robin? No
It's
one.
my show.
Show.
Oh, okay.
She does.
After that, that's the cutoff line.
All right. Well, how would you like to be represented? Tell everyone.
Do commercials. That's much more important.
I like how Jackie just keeps his head down during all this.
What? I'm totally entertained. Trust me.
But he's keeping his mouth shut.
I've been getting so much crap for about 2
Right.
months. It's just so nice to see this happening.
See, that's why I'm so hated by Jackie.
All right. Why don't we take a break? Thanksgiving is here. All of us are in a good
I
mood.
love you, Fred. I know you don't like to hear that.
Oh, you're such a liar.
Okay.
I love you, Fred.
hate you.
Oh, now you're the biggest liar.
Huh?
Well, I love you, Fred.
Oh, you're even triple them.
Wait a minute. Who's the biggest liar?
Robin.
And then?
You.
And then?
Jackie's a distant third. He actually pretty much is pretty honest.
Oh, I don't tell the truth?
Never. What day is it?
Starting to side with Fred.
It's a lie.
How did Jackie come out a hero in this? Jackie never tells the truth.
Jackie's terrible to you, Fred.
Jackie hates you.
I
You should
know.
see what he says about you.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
no.
care.
Oh,
I
I
want more
know.
money than Fred.
You want to know something? I know he hates me, and I expect it.
Of course.
Fred's just saying I hate him a little bit.
I'm the
less
one who
than
thinks.
you, and
I'm the one who cares about you.
Nah, but you
Yeah.
abuse me, man.
Well,
What do I do?
I feel like a beaten wife sometimes. It's like,
So what? But do I always come back to your makeup?
yeah, it's like, come here, honey. I'm sorry I broke your clavicle.
All right.
But what do I do, Fred?
You laugh.
You're just the obnoxious acid pourer. It's like a wound comes open, and you're right there.
Bubble, toilet trouble. Oh, by the way, did I mention I'm going to be your first prince?
All right. Why don't we take a break? Obviously, you're very upset.
Fred,
Yeah.
the truth be told, though, when they're all giving me a hard time, you revel in breaking my chops, right?
No, I do not, Jack.
Oh, it hurts him when he
hurts
does
him
it.
to do it.
It hurts me to do it,
You're
but
just
that's
a
what I
company
get paid
man,
for.
and you have
That's
to
it.
do
That's it. All right. Why don't we take a
I'm
break?
just another worker on the assembly line.
It's either you or him.
That's it.
All right. Why don't we take
Well,
a break?
actually, Jackie threw the gauntlet down at one point. It's like I sat there like a moron forever going like, wait a minute. I'm missing out on some good opportunities.
Right. All right. Listen, Fred, you've obviously got a lot to say. And,
We don't want to misrepresent you anymore.
right. I want to start at a clean slate.
what
Okay, why
point
don't we
did
take a
Gary
break,
disappear?
and why don't we listen to these words?
You're listening to WRNO, New Orleans. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Got a couple of faxes here. I'll take a few phone calls, then we got to do the news, Robin.
Yeah.
It says a couple of faxes regarding Fred. Howard, I agree with Fred. He is misrepresented on the show. He is sometimes represented as a normal human being.
Signed, Charles Manson.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
They know me so well.
And that's from Dave. This one says Fred is like the Trill on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Do you know what the Trill is?
I didn't know about this character, no.
The Trill is a species that gets to attach itself to a host.
Uh-huh.
It actually the Trill goes into the
Host body?
as in Dax on Deep Space Nine, which I'm a big fan of.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like a spirochete.
That's what this person compares you to. In other words, you attach yourself to a host because you cannot survive independently, whether it be your girlfriend or your mother or somebody.
Well, we are human species.
Right. And then you forget about everyone else, the previous hosts.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Well, you can only invade one host at a time.
And this is signed Hillary Clinton. Now, I don't know if this is the real Hillary Clinton, who's the First Lady of the United States.
Bitch. I don't care. She is the First Lady.
She has no right to comment on you. And you're right. You're right.
I've heard some stories about her, too.
She's no trill. Here's someone who faxes me about, he assumes that I have a dilemma. I was giving a hypothetical this morning of someone who has been offered a major film deal.
Yes.
2 major film deals, and
Is it a 2-picture deal with a company, or is it 2 different
I've got 3.
film deals?
I have 3. Well, not me. This is not me.
Oh.
This is someone I know.
Okay.
This Mr. X has 3 film deals. One is a 2-picture deal, and the films are all good.
Uh-huh.
Or he has major network television.
Major network?
5 days a week.
Major network?
Yeah. So he.
Not new network.
I don't know that much about it. This is about someone else. I don't want to say. I don't want to say. I'm not saying it's even one network. I am just saying that this person has to make a decision over the Thanksgiving holidays.
Oh, it has to be made over the holidays.
Yes.
Can I say?
Because affiliates have to.
Be notified.
But this isn't me. I swear to you, it's not
All
me.
right,
I haven't been contacted by anybody.
So what does the fax say?
It says here, Howard, the movie deal might mean 2 years of work for you, but it's only 90 minutes of entertainment for the rest of us. Maybe a little more of those who see the flick a second time or buy the video when it's released. The TV deal means much more stern for us, the listeners.
So they would vote for the TV deal.
And that's a deal you should take.
But you might be more valuable.
Can't you make more money, though, in movies?
Absolutely.
If a movie hits, and I mean, this person's got a really good movie.
See, this person, I think, whoever you're talking about, I think should do the movie. Because I think it would make that person much more valuable.
But should this person do the TV thing? I mean, it takes up a tremendous amount of time.
I think that would be overexposure in that case. So when
this person,
comes out,
but this person also has a radio show. I didn't tell you that.
True.
And
which provides the entertainment.
But he only has 2 years left on his contract, and he does have to think about his future. And
true. But I think it's easier to make the movie, and if the movie is successful, then you stay with movies. The movie, let's say, is so-so, and TV is still there. You can always fall back into that. That performer, I'm sure that person is very talented and could very easily step into the television. By that time,
that's
the Leno Letterman thing will probably go down a little bit, and if that person could come in even like a bigger hero.
How much of a hero would that person be right now if he beat the crap out of
this is true,
all
but
these
guys?
That would make that person a very big star.
Wouldn't that person then realize his dream since he was 5 years old of being the next Johnny Carson and proving that the next Johnny Carson doesn't have to look like a short-haired guy and look like a you know.
This guy has long hair?
Yeah, yes, he does. Did I mention that?
I think
he has long hair.
What I think is
going to happen. That the next Johnny Carson isn't a Letterman or Leno or Johnny Carson clone. Guys who only pull 5 shares. This is a guy who will pull a 9 or a 10.
I think it's going to be harder to do the movie.
This guy will supersede Johnny, will surpass Johnny.
Right, where Johnny couldn't succeed. Sorry?
I think it's going to be harder to do the film. Because that's going to require a lot of energy to do that.
The film, you mean?
Harder to do the film with television, with radio?
Right, because the television is going to take up a considerable
What if he's
amount
fired from his radio show?
Then it might be possible.
If you went from if that person went from radio to TV,
and
then the radio dropped out, then with the TV you could also do the movie. The person could also do the movie.
Robin, let me ask you something. Am I asking Fred and Jackie this question?
And you're actually listening to them, which is more amazing.
Yeah, let me just turn down these microphones and discuss this with you.
Like she knows anymore.
I'll go to her anytime before you two nuts. Anyway, it has nothing to do with me. It was a friend who asked me the question.
I see. But people are assuming that it's you, so they're faxing word that they're going to miss their stern.
I've had no conversations with anybody. Not even Fred.
What would this person's imaginary father say?
His father thinks he's nuts because he thinks
he's done too much already.
He's done too much already, and he has to have time for his family and all that other stuff.
It's got time to stop and smell the roses.
But even this guy's family agrees that this is an opportunity that they understand that he has wanted his whole life. I'm talking about his wife and children understand, which he has discussed with them.
Strike while the iron is hot.
Right. But it's not me.
But one would not want to overextend oneself and fail in all areas.
But this person is pretty spectacular. Even at his mediocrest, he's pretty great.
It's hard to spread it that thin.
He's really an amazing talent.
You would not feel that you were cheating on any level.
Well,
it's not up to me. I mean, this is not me. It's really not me. It's Greg Kinnear from the E-Network.
I think he's spread thin already.
Yeah, I think we've seen about all his tricks.
He should be half a show.
Yeah.
talk soup.
Well, no matter who it is, E-Channel is suicidal.
Bottom line.
Bottom line. I love the E-Channel. This person might even sign again with the E-Channel.
Again? So that person is on the E-Channel?
Yeah, okay, I'm going to tell you who the person is. It's Ed McMahon. Hello.
You mean
Yes,
Ed
sir.
McMahon has a radio show?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You don't know a lot about Ed. He does it from his apartment every day. No one hears it. He yells out the window.
He's talking to himself.
Good morning, Vietnam. Edmas in the morning. All right, we're going to take a break. I got to take a short break. We'll take one or two or three phone calls, and then we got to do the news. We really have to get to everything right after these words.
You're listening to the only guy who can answer the female questions on Jeopardy. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Robin, I received a fax. This quick. This might have something to do with you. It says, Dear Howard, as an avid fan of the radio and TV show for the past few years, I want to congratulate you on the success of Private Parts. That's my new book. It is quite obvious your career is at a very important crossroads. I sense from the radio show a bit of unrest among your staff, namely Robin.
Oh.
She appears... Excuse me?
It's true.
It is true. She appears uneasy with your latest round of success. My question, if you do go into late night, which appears to be a favorable move, what happens to Fred, Jackie, John, and Baba Buffoon?
Signed.
Grant Tinker.
And what about your movie deal?
Papa Plunky.
Where would this leave your band of Merry Mutants? Please keep me informed. Oh, who the hell knows? I'm looking out for myself. Yeah, Jackie's the last one I'll look out for.
As well you should. You have a family to think about.
Meanwhile, it was sent by Jackie.
I knew Jackie had
He signed it.
Did you recognize my
Off our rocker stationery. Hey, by the way, you know who's outside I saw when I was walking to the bathroom? Fat Al Rosenberg.
Oh.
Hey, let's get him in here and weigh him.
You got a scale?
He said this is one of our writers for the pay-per-view special. Al Rosenberg used to be with us at NBC.
Yes.
And we're looking at the guy. We got into an argument yesterday on the air. I said the guy's got to weigh at least 300 pounds. Jackie said at least 300 pounds. What did you say, Robin? I forget.
I said he had to be around 300, too. He claims 260.
I'll bet you it'll be more. Bring him in here, Gary. He's on his way. And you got a scale?
Yeah, right here.
And was tested out?
Yeah, I think it's about 5 pounds heavy.
Okay, good. All right. Well, come on in now.
Come on in now.
I got to look it out. Al. You know, now when I'm thinking 300, he doesn't look that big.
260.
280. He looks less.
Suddenly he looks less today.
I went to the bathroom.
What, did you starve yourself?
I want to know
He
what
went on
Robin
a fast.
You want to know what Robin said?
Yeah, what did Robin say?
Doesn't he look a little thinner today?
Well, yeah, he doesn't look as big as I think of him.
During the writing meetings, he's like staring at food and he's all sloppy and
And
everything.
you think of him as being huge.
Yeah.
Maybe
He kind of settles into a lump at a writer's meeting, Howard.
It's gravity, yeah.
Can I ask you a question? If you were as fat as Al, would you tuck your shirt in like that? Wouldn't you leave it out?
Oh, no. You learn as a fat guy. That's the worst thing to do.
Really?
No, then you look like Ernest Borgnine and From Here to Eternity, you know, with that flowered shirt.
Yeah, but your shirt clings so closely to your belly. All right, step on the scale. Let's get a weigh in.
Okay.
And realize he's wearing clothes, so we'll deduct 10 pounds for that.
Mind if I...
Yeah, get
Gary,
out of the way,
let him
Gary.
on.
270.
It broke.
It says 275.
275. All right.
And
so
you're taking off 10 pounds, 265?
265.
Thank you very much.
He was right.
Something to be proud of, Al.
I feel great.
Go out and eat. You should be twins.
He's going to have a feast.
He loves to eat.
Remember Max Alexander used to sit in the studio?
Yeah, good. Yeah, you're thin.
Thank you.
All right, yeah. He's going to now make fun of a
he's
fatter
in
guy.
shape.
Well, I can
Yeah,
breathe.
yeah,
I can
guy.
breathe.
Let's goof on Max.
Yeah, goof on Max Alexander.
Let's talk about when I'm going to die. That's
All right, Al, get out of here now.
Okay.
All right, wait for the writing meeting.
Anorexic Al.
Al's goofing on another guy. Look at those pants.
Can I see?
They haven't been washed in about 3 years.
Go jog, Al.
Fat guys always have one pair of pants that kind of fits them nice.
Yeah.
So they can't even wash that pair of pants because then they get tight.
Right. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Won't be able to fit into that pair.
And Al wants to wear jeans and look like, he's a writer, he's a comedy writer and stuff. But, when you get that heavy, you can't wear cool jeans. So he's wearing, like, Mr. Green jeans.
Well, they're not real jeans.
Right.
Elastic on the top.
Elastic, the Sansabelt jeans. Sansabelt.
They might as well have a little buckle in the back and a piece of elastic.
New York, you're on the air. Quickly, because we have to get to news.
Yeah, the other week I called the station and I managed to make a phony phone call to Baba Booey.
Oh, let me hear it.
Okay, hold on.
All right. This is one of our listeners goofing on Baba Booey.
Booey.
We can't hear it, dude.
You can't hear it?
No, you got to, like, really make it loud and get your phone up to
right
it.
there.
Yeah, you're not in any shape to play a phone call.
Oh. But it was real funny, though.
Well, let me hear. Can't you make it loud?
That's as loud as it gets.
What are you playing it? What are you playing it on?
It's a Walkman.
Oh. And do you have a headphones with the Walkman?
Yeah.
So why don't you put the headphones right up to the mouthpiece?
Yeah, that's what I did, but I don't know, the batteries were weak.
Oh.
Dude, I mean, you're calling into a radio show. You finally get through to play your phone call, and you don't have it?
No, I thought it was going to come through.
All right, dude. Thanks.
Yeah,
why don't you send it to us?
Yeah.
I'll send it to you? Yeah. I remember one time Baba Boo used to repeat, but, like, he doesn't repeat anymore because his wife told him that he couldn't repeat.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
All right, man. Cleveland, you're on the air. Cleveland, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to, I've never done this before, called in. I just want to tell Howard, or you can tell him.
No, this is Howard.
It is?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
No. I'm not kidding you.
Doesn't sound like you.
Well, it is me, I swear to God.
Well, I just want to tell you how terrific I think this show is.
Well, thank you.
And I just get the biggest kick every morning listening to you on my way to work. I'm from a real small town, like 30 miles east of Cleveland. And I've turned a lot of people on to your show.
Well, thank you. Have you read my book yet?
No, my girlfriend has it. I just saw it last week, actually. I leafed through a couple pages. When she's done, she's going to let me read it.
New York Times just ran an article. Is that from the New York Times, Robin?
Yes.
This is from today's newspaper.
Wow.
Margot Jefferson, experts in the comedy of self-love. They gave the book a very, very nice review. I thought it was very positive.
She said everything she has read thus far is excellent.
Why won't you buy the book yourself?
Yeah,
well, I will. I just haven't gotten the chance to do it, but she said
when do you think you'll buy? I'm just doing this as a marketing service. Here's someone who's a hardcore fan of the show, enjoys
really enjoys it.
And yet not curious enough to go pick up my new book. And I do believe you'd enjoy it.
I'll tell you the truth if you want the absolute truth.
Yes, you don't have the money.
I am like 30 miles from a mall. So
right.
when I get there, I will buy it. But my girlfriend had it. And so, like I said, I was just leaving through, but I am definitely going to go purchase it. I promise you that.
Here's what Margot Jefferson says. Now, this is a woman, all right? So she's like you. She has the same sensibilities. Most women have the same sensibilities.
Yeah. Absolutely,
Okay, here we go. This woman says that, I'm trying to just, get to the good parts.
Yeah, because it's a combined kind of thing.
Yeah. She says there are points in the book that she says, I can't even find the part where she said this, but she says, sometimes I want to kick him down the steps, but I'm laughing.
Yeah, I'm laughing too hard.
I'm laughing too hard. Is that what she said, Robin?
It was something to that. For every...
here it is. I found it.
Yeah.
It is also true for every jibe of Howard Stern's that makes me want to push him down a manhole, there's another that makes me shriek with laughter. She says, Howard Stern is a master of the good cop, bad cop routine. One moment he's a schlemiel and a miniature penis and an obsessive-compulsive, anal-retentive neurotic.
Oh, my.
And
how dirty she is, huh?
Let's see. The chapters of Private Parts read like monologues, and the whole book is designed to look like those diaries and fan scrapbooks you keep when you're a teenager. The text hurtles along. That's good. The text hurtles along, broken up with pictures of Howard and his cohorts, interview snippets, testimonials, hate mail. She likes the whole package.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an excellent book, and Robin, I think you're super fantastic as well.
I think.
Well, you don't have to say that. That's all right. Just focus on me mostly, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you.
Don't you get enough?
I'm sorry,
yeah,
Robin.
it's Robin's turn.
Robin's right. All right, go ahead. Say something nice about Robin.
I think she's terrific. She's got
okay. All right. Okay. We'll see you later.
Too much.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye. Thanks, Howard.
It's really, let's focus more on me if we can. Let's try to keep it centered on one person. It confuses the audience if you talk about Robin.
Oh, boy.
Right, Robin?
Yeah, the audience is just too bright.
The audience is very stupid. El Paso, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard, how's it going?
Fine, fair to middling.
Yeah, sounds like it. Just want to say I love your book.
Thank you.
I bought it the day it came out, and I told the bookstore they ought to take that piece of crap that Rush Limbaugh wrote and toss it. And
the stores have gotten competitive. They actually keep his book on, one side and mine right next to it, and they, I don't know, they juxtapose.
They had a whole wall of Rush Limbaugh books, and they had 6 of yours.
Yeah, well, any town where I am heard and people know of me, I outsell him. He has 600 stations, which, by the way, he doesn't get paid a lot of money for.
Yeah, well, you can see why, because he writes like crap.
Yeah, well, he writes like a school textbook. It's horrible. Yeah. It's horrible. This is not entertainment, and the audience is wise to it. Thank you.
It's real tough to keep awake when you're reading something that boring.
Thank you.
But I've been listening to you for 10 years. I had a friend that used to drive trucks long haul in the Northeast.
Because I don't rip you off. When I write a book, I write something interesting in there.
Yeah, it is. I love
that
it.
Fat bastard
How come
ripping
you
people
left
off
Dave
with that
out?
garbage. You dumb, big, fat, pumpkin-headed creep. Sitting there. He's a politician now. You big, fat bastard. You run against me, I'll beat you in an election. Right, Robin?
Absolutely,
yeah,
no
Howard.
problem.
You big fatso.
How come you didn't write anything about Dave?
Well, Letterman? You know,
Yeah.
I left him out of the comics thing. I should have written that I thought he was funny.
Well, I hope you write something about him in your next book. Yeah, I figured, in the funny, not funny section that you'd have
Well,
at
I didn't get to him. For some reason,
Yeah.
you know what I did? I spent about 3 seconds thinking of that list. That's how much thought I put into it. You
Because
can't
you
sit
now
and dwell.
realize you left a lot of people out.
Yeah, well, now that the book's a #1 bestseller, I realized I should have spent more time on that. Albany, you're on the air.
Yes, am I on?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, did you happen to catch Rush Limbaugh the other night?
No.
Really, I mean, you...
Why are you calling me about his show?
But this was something
Why
really
is everyone
bad.
calling me about
This
him?
was something really bad. Now, you remember a couple days
He's
ago...
a
they were doing
moron.
They were doing that thing where were you when Kenny was shot? He was doing this thing. He was doing this thing where...
I'll tell you where he was when Kennedy was shot. He was sitting by the radio, listening to me, waiting to figure out what he's supposed to do. That's what he was doing.
He was probably eating.
Yeah, well...
Oh, you think he was eating? He was eating and listening to his radio, waiting for somebody to tell him how to be on the air.
He was disguised as a grassy knoll or something. But anyway, he was like, where were you when you first heard Rush Limbaugh? It was really... I mean, that was the most rudest thing to do. I mean, it was like going out into the audience with his Rush Henson Muppets.
Oh, look.
And they were saying, oh, it was so great the first time I heard
Oh, well, you're watching his show, then you dig him, you jerk. Fool. Here I open up the phones to America, and they call me up about that big fat pig. Stupid bastard, so full of calories, they're spilling out of his ears, and I have to be annoyed by that. Don't call me up about fatzos. I've got better things to do. Like what, Robin?
Go to commercials?
Right. Now I'm going to commercial.
You're listening to the...
I know who is an Ice-T fan, and I know a lot of Ice-T fans just in this building. They love this Snapple product. They have never tasted a better iced tea, Robin, and you know that's true. You've seen it for yourself, haven't you?
Absolutely, I have heard proof positive.
Yeah.
People addicted to Snapple iced tea.
By the way, let me tell you about the various iced teas that they have. They have the regular, the diet, the unsweetened, the decaffeinated, and the diet decaffeinated. They're all good. I mean, really good. And they have flavors like raspberry iced tea, diet raspberry iced tea, mint iced tea, peach iced tea, orange iced tea, regular iced tea, cranberry iced tea, and more. Please don't be fooled by the imitators. You see a lot of that going on. Snapple is America's favorite all-natural real brewed iced tea. That's not just a slogan, that's the truth. They're the #1 selling iced tea.
Oh, I know it.
Snappleize your taste buds with Snapple's real brewed iced tea, made from the best stuff on earth.
Well, good morning, everybody.
With the Howard Stern Show.
The guy in The Price is Right, his name is Rob Roddy. Johnny Olson is dead, just in case those of you were playing along at home.
Rob Roddy?
Rob Roddy. Rob Roddy. Piper. Here's the facts. Howard, are Fred and Jessica Hahn sharing the same crack pipe? Signed, Flavor Flav.
I'll take him too.
If Howard is a half Jew, Fred must be a full 2.5 times a whining Jew boy. The smartest thing Fred did was keep quiet. Could you ask that whining hillbilly to squeal like a pig? That's what it says, Fred. A lot of negative facts.
Well, if he has to ask, then I won't do it.
All right. Baba Bowie, do you have something to tell us before we start the
I
news?
just thought it was funny when Nancy called up last week while Jessica was on the phone, and Jessica was talking about how she got naked in the back and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nancy goes, well, I don't like women who get naked in front of my husband. And Jessica said, I was doing a job. They brought me in to do a job. I just didn't understand how that was part of the job.
Baba Bohai. Robin, what's in the news?
Lots of things are in the news, Howard. How many people would you guess have telephones in this country? Would you say there are more telephones or more televisions?
More televisions.
Well, you're absolutely right. Nationally, more homes have television, that's by 98%, than have telephones, 94%. And here in New York, they say there are about 200,000 people who do not have a telephone.
Right. You can get along without a telephone. You can't get along without a television.
It just amazes me that you wouldn't want... I mean, why can't you have both? If you can have a television, certainly you can afford a telephone.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances.
They say the highest concentration of households without telephones are in low-income areas, especially those populated with recent immigrants.
Look.
They seem to know how to live without a phone.
Also, when there's a riot and you can go out under the guise of, be feeling bad for Rodney King, you go out and steal televisions. It's hard to steal phones.
Well, you can't steal the lines that come into the house.
Right, that's the problem. And you pay for a TV once. That phone bill comes every month.
Yeah, well, I'm taking into account that you should have cable, and I guess nobody thinks of that but me.
Right. You're thinking of a lot of strange things today.
But I thought that was interesting. I just imagined that everybody had a phone at this point, especially in a place like New York.
How do you like a guy who has a phone but never uses it to call anyone from the show?
Now, who might that be?
Fred.
You never hear from Fred?
Never.
Why is that, Fred?
Same thing with his mother.
You never have a reason to call anybody, huh, Fred?
I see him every day.
Sees me every day. What's he going to call for?
Oh, I see.
What else you got there, Robin?
7 movies opening this weekend.
What are some of those movies?
Movie weekend. A Perfect Team, or A Perfect World, actually. That's the review, A Perfect Team. A Perfect World is the new Kevin Costner, Clint Eastwood movie.
Is it a good movie?
Getting very good reviews.
Boy, Clint Eastwood knows how to make movies, huh?
Apparently, he has learned, after all of his years in the business, how to pick a good script.
That's right.
This one is directed by Eastwood, so he's being credited with bringing out Kevin Costner's best performance yet.
Really?
Yeah. So that's something to see. Macaulay Culkin is...
Can't believe that.
Appearing in the Nutcracker.
Clint Eastwood will be directing my first movie. Did you know that?
I had no idea you were talking to Clint.
I'm not. I'm just going to use him. He seems like he's really on a roll.
You've decided you're going to choose him as the director. As the star, I guess you get director approval.
Of course.
Macaulay Culkin in the Nutcracker won't be promoting it, though, because his father didn't appreciate the fact that they used Kevin Kline to narrate the film.
Yeah, why would you want Kevin Kline, one of the best actors in the world, to narrate your film? What the hell is wrong with that guy? Take the money and run, dude.
It is directed by the same guy who directed Dirty Dancing, but he just died. So this will be his last film.
You never know. Don't count a guy out. If it's a big hit, they'll find a way to bring him back.
And, of course, the new Robin Williams film, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Now, that looks kind of dumb, but I bet you it would be a big hit.
Well, it's getting mixed reviews. You know, I've seen a lot of very good reviews and then some so-so reviews. A lot of people having trouble with the way the film was put together and Robin Williams' performance.
His makeup looks real bad, you know. He really overplayed it, too, you know. I see that on the commercial. I judge everything by the commercial. I forget, if they can't put together a good commercial, there must be something wrong with the movie.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Well, we have a little bit of Robin Williams there. Let's have him talk about his character and what he's up to.
As a woman, he's a pig. He doesn't even look like a girl, right? He looks like a guy with a lot of makeup on. Doesn't even look like a woman.
And certainly not an attractive woman.
No. Here's Robin Williams.
Yeah, well, there'll be comparisons. It's a guy in drag, but the motivation is
obviously a comparison to Tootsie.
Yes.
Just as a woman to try and be with his family, and he has to totally change himself. That's why, it's full makeup. It's not just and he's not just dressing up as a woman. He's becoming a totally different person.
What was it, the mellow Robin Williams?
Yes, that's the studious actor Robin Williams talking about the development of his character.
Yeah, good. Why don't you go look for the nanny?
Well, you know what?
Isn't it odd that he's playing a nanny?
This is a nanny you wouldn't fall in love with.
Right. Robin Williams fell in love with the nanny. He's still denying that, you know that?
Oh, I don't know how he could.
I don't know. He hates that. Dude, fess up. What's the big deal?
She was the nanny.
She was the nanny. Get over it.
Does he say anything else?
These guys don't have any sense of humor when it comes to themselves. They'll make fun of this one and that one. They get on there. They're
yeah, everybody else is funny. Everybody's life is funny.
Everyone's a jerk. Joe Piscopo's sitting in the audience. Robin Williams starts goofing on him about steroids and everything. Everything's open for ridicule.
Just take it one step further. If Robin Williams had stayed with his first wife, and there was some other guy who fell in love with his babysitter in the audience, what would be the first thing Robin Williams would pick on?
Oh, babysitter. Ooh, babysitter. You know, like that stupid manic, I don't have anything to say, so I'll just keep throwing a whole bunch of ideas at you.
Yeah.
Did you read about this movie?
No.
The original ending of the movie, the guy went back with his wife or something like that.
Oh, gee, that's not realistic.
They had to change it because that wasn't real life.
Well, all I know is none of these guys have a sense of humor about themselves. This Seinfeld?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, hey, I make fun of this guy. I make fun. Hey, yeah, come on, you got to have a good sense of humor.
As soon as you... And he's always laughing at other comedians when they mess up.
So I wrote a song about his relationship with a 17-year-old girl. That was it. Boom.
Not funny.
That's not funny. That's not funny. I can't be a part of the show anymore.
But he'd be on his sides. He'd be holding his sides. He'd be laughing so hard if it was anyone else.
What the hell is he doing? 17, so stupid.
I'm sure he's had a big laugh at Joe Piscopo's expense.
Oh, of course. Of course. Who hasn't?
Does Robin Williams have anything else to say?
Well, here he is as Tootsie, or whatever her name is.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Hey, he's funny. Robin Williams is funny.
I think this is him describing how he came up with the voice.
No, I think this is him actually doing the voice.
All right, let's see.
The blue-mouthed, sweet old woman who could say, Mr. Bobbitt, we're so sorry what happened. Oh, God. Did they find it on the freeway? Thank God no dog got a hold of it now. Come on, boy, give me the penis. Come on now.
Oh, that's that Robin Williams sense of humor coming out.
Making fun of the guy who got the penis cut off?
John Wayne Bobbitt.
Yeah, that's funny, but you can't, God forbid you tell him that he married his babysitter, which is true. Oh, you should see the whole thing he goes into. She wasn't the babysitter and I didn't know,
our relationship didn't start up until after she had stopped babysitting.
Yeah, but she was the babysitter, right? Well, I don't know, and it's not funny, and I don't like Howard Stern because he brings up that she's a babysitter.
Not the nanny stuff again.
You stupid douche. God, are you a dumb ox? Don't you see yourself? You fool, hypocritical jerk. God, is Robin Williams a jerk. I hope his movie bombs. Freak. You don't even look like a woman. I'm so sick of you. Sick of all you douchey comedians who keep putting out these bad movies. I can't wait.
His last good movie?
I can't wait to put out a movie. I can't wait to just do it right.
You're going to show them all, aren't you?
Wonder if I had a late night show if Robin Williams would come on.
No. I can tell you that right now.
Believe me, I wouldn't do any late night show that was relying on any of those guys. Sit there and listen to Billy Crystal talk about his latest project.
And they get so excited when they get to talk to Robin Williams, and he sits there and he does that free association in front of everybody, and everybody has to sit there. They feel it's mandatory that they laugh.
Yeah, that fake laugh.
While he free associates in front of you.
I'd puke on him and the babysitter. And I'm going to go on record as saying he married his babysitter.
And you should tell him that when you see him. Ask him how the babysitter.
You people in Los Angeles, when you see Robin Williams, you say, how is that friggin' babysitter?
How much is it an hour?
Yeah, how much did you pay her an hour, you... Him with that free association. You know why it's free association, Robin?
Why?
Because no one would pay for it. I don't work that way. I don't do free anything. Me neither. I'm a hippie, but I only go so far.
Sometimes we're aligned on things.
Not for sure.
Well, those are some of the movies that are coming up for the Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
Right.
They're expecting big business, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
Also in the news, remember the name Kimberly Mays? She's the young girl who was,
Oh, yes.
switched at birth.
Oh, yeah.
She's about 13 years old now.
Kimberly.
And she just recently won the right to stay with her adopted father.
Right.
Rather than going back to her biological parents. This was a situation where two families... Will you get rid of that song? I'm trying to tell you.
No, you tell it. We're going to break it to Kimberly. You got a long intro. Go ahead.
All right.
It's Joe Piscopo singing about Kimberly.
There were two families down in Florida. They were both in labor and delivery at the same time, delivered children, and somehow or other their babies got switched.
Yeah. How can you ignore Joe Piscopo?
I can't talk over this.
Don't know what to say. Joe's singing about his girlfriend.
I'm not talking about that, Kimberly.
Kimberly, whoa, Kimberly, whoa, I need ya. Kimberly, whoa, I need ya. Kimberly, His whole career now is based around the babysitter. It's unbelievable. Kimberly, he's just singing about her. He's dragging her around on stage. Well, let me tell you, if I was with her, I'd be singing about her too. All right, that's enough. Yeah, so you're saying this Kimberly...
Yeah. This little girl, Kimberly, just recently won the right to sever all ties with her biological family. She wanted to stay with the guy she has thought of as her father all of her life. Now, her biological mother, Regina Twigg, has always contended that the switch in the hospital was intentional. And now a former nurse's aide who worked in this department at the time these children were born has come forward to say that a doctor asked her to make the switch of the baby.
Whoa.
She refused, but later she noticed that the babies had been switched, and then she was told if she spoke out, she would lose her job.
Wow.
Now, I don't know what this will mean to the whole situation. The woman has now come forward because she says she's very ill and is in rapidly failing health.
Yeah, and she's hoping Jesus won't punish her too bad.
Yeah, one of those clear your conscience kind of things, I suppose.
Can you imagine sitting there and knowing about that? I tell you, they ought to take her now and shoot her in the head. Even though she's dying, just shoot her in the head.
Speed it up, huh?
Bad bitch. I love these people. They're dying now. They're going to come forward and say something. Should have kept your mouth shut.
Well, I just think it's interesting. There's a lot of debate as to whether this is true or not.
Skivosa.
And no one knows what effect it'll have.
Shoot her in the leg.
Involved.
Shoot her in the leg and let it get gangrene.
Just don't treat her, huh?
Imagine that is the worst thing I ever heard. A nurse sitting there. She knew that the babies were switched and she kept her mouth shut.
Nurse's aide.
Nurse's aide, that cow face.
Meanwhile,
I hope you marry Robin Williams.
The federal not the federal government, but the U.S. Court of Appeals struck down the FCC's safe harbor programming idea for broadcast television.
Good. So what you're telling me is, Robin said, "Hey, Howard, you should be happy. Did you read what happened with the FCC?" I go, "No, what happened?" Actually, I had read it. I just didn't understand it.
You didn't understand it.
And let me explain it. Tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
In other words, the FCC has been saying, well, Howard Stern can't say any of these words because he's on at 6 in the morning. As long as you go on at 10 o'clock at night, it's okay. Like, kids don't watch at 10 o'clock at night.
Yes, the safe harbor in broadcast television was from midnight to 6 a.m.
Yeah. Right. Oh, from midnight to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So how come NYPD Blue can be on the air?
I don't know.
I heard it was from 10 p.m. to...
Well, that's always been considered adult programming time in television.
Yeah, which is a lark because, you know what?
Like children aren't up at 10.
Children aren't around the house from 6 to 10 being unsupervised. They're getting ready for school. If there was any time that should be a safe harbor, it was 6 to 10 in the morning because if they weren't in school, they were with their parents getting ready for school. What kind of crap is that?
So anyway, go on with the explanation of what you think.
All right, so what the FCC was trying for is to say, okay, we'll allow indecency like from midnight on.
Mm-hmm.
So what the court has said is, hey, forget that. You can't just decide what time of day. You don't have any studies to back that up. You can't all of a sudden say midnight to 6 is okay. There's no children. So now there's no safe harbor. Is that what you're saying? They've ruled against it. It's unconstitutional.
The Court of Appeals said was that this was too broad a stipulation.
Right.
And was then therefore an infringement on freedom of speech. There's no way to determine that there are large numbers of children at any part of the day that are unsupervised and able to watch something. And they said, should somebody happen to tune into something that was indecent for a moment or two while they're checking out what's on the dial, it's the same as leafing through a book and seeing something you find objectionable. You go on, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. So why are all these guys getting away with worrying about everyone else's children?
And the children argument was not considered a great argument for limiting speech at certain times during the day. They'd have to be much more capable of proving that there were large numbers of unsupervised children watching something at a particular time.
So I think what you're saying is, I can say penis. How's that? Twice I said it. Can I say it twice?
Well, it was interesting to me that one of the attorneys who was following this case and was involved in it said that this could possibly mean that the fines against you are invalid.
An attorney said that?
Yes.
Where's that? Where does it say that?
What was the guy's name? I want to say Tom Dick.
Tom Dick?
The great attorney.
I never heard of him. Tom Dick?
Let me see if I can...
Robin, you can say penis, too, if you want.
All day. Now I'm not going to be able to find it.
You want to say it? You can say it. Go ahead, say it.
Dick?
No, penis.
Oh, penis.
So you said Tom Dick.
Oh, okay.
I say Tom is a dick.
Where
it's great.
Is this article? Because I want to read... Oh, here it is. Tom's statement.
Great.
Okay. Well, it might be Dyke. D-Y-K.
Or Tom Dyke. I think that's much
Dyke.
better. Timothy Dyke. Okay, go ahead.
The FCC has invoked various incarnations of its indecency policy 5 times since 1988 to fine the employer of radio DJ Howard Stern more than $1.2 million. The court ruling should invalidate these fines, says Timothy Dyke, the attorney who represented the coalition, which included Stern's company, Infinity Broadcasting.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. It's completely unconstitutional what's going on, but, you know... It's going to take years for these courts to get that through their heads.
Whether the FCC can move forward with fines imposed on all regulations is open to serious question. Michael Jackson is in more trouble.
Don't you like it that he's in more trouble?
It's
seriously,
interesting.
It's interesting.
I must say, it is interesting.
Wouldn't it be horrible if the whole story went away? I mean, seriously.
Well, you know what would be horrible? That if we had all of these allegations made and they were completely unfounded.
Yeah, but I don't think they're unfounded.
That would be horrible because, you know, you put a person's reputation and career through the ringer and then you say, oh, but it wasn't true. That would be horrible.
I don't even care if it's true now. I'm enjoying it. I really like it. Aren't you curious to see what he does? Like, will he return to the country? Will he kill himself? What will he do?
Oh, it would. You find it fascinating that a person could be forced to the brink of suicide.
Yes, it's fascinating.
Oh, you're so cruel.
Let me tell you something. If he had sex with these young boys... Suicide isn't good enough for him. Ruining boys like that, for Christ's sake. You want to protect children? There's a way to protect children.
Yeah, keep them away from Michael Jackson. The other day, there was the most interesting article in USA Today.
Yes.
About the trouble parents were having discussing the Michael Jackson headlines with their children who are Michael Jackson fans.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Really?
Oh, yeah, the kids want to know. I just said, don't worry about it.
Is that true? Because I thought
weird.
that was funny.
Yeah, you know, it's like weird. It's like you don't want to like you don't want to like get into that whole thing. It's like Michael, can't they just get Michael Jackson under control? Do it quietly.
I never knew there was this problem going on out there. Parents wondering what to do, how to handle it. A lot of parents were waiting for their children to ask first.
My kid was asking right away. I said, I don't know what they're talking about. Turn off that TV.
You just create a media blackout in the house. Huh?
I just said, I said he was up to some nasty business. I said, they're going to cut off his toes and fingers and put firecrackers in the holes and blow them up.
On second thought, maybe you shouldn't discuss it with your children.
I don't know that I'm really responsible. No, it was like really like, it was like weird, like, you know, how do you tell your kids that Michael Jackson's possibly been with young boys? You know, it gets into homosexuality, pedophilia, it gets into a whole bunch of things.
A lot of stuff you don't want to necessarily open your children's minds to.
I get to see the kids 10 minutes a day. I'm not prepared for that to be the 10-minute discussion, okay?
It was funny because I was at the home of some people who have a 4-year-old daughter, big Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson fan.
Oh, I know those people. That's funny.
And it was a Saturday, and it was one of those days that a lot of allegations were surfacing. And so Michael Jackson was all over the cover of the paper. Now, of course, the 4-year-old couldn't read.
Right.
But she did recognize the picture of Michael Jackson. She was like, oh, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. I was thinking to myself, if she could only see that the headline says Michael Jackson is addicted to pills, I wonder what she'd think. But I guess for children who can read, you do have to then sit down and discuss it, don't you?
Yeah, I avoided it. I think I let my wife handle it. I'd be curious to find out how that worked out.
How she did.
Yeah, I never did find out. My wife's great at that stuff because she's, you know, a trained psychotherapist or, you know, psycho something or other.
You think that works in a family situation?
Oh, yes. She applies.
Don't.
Oh, yes, it does. Robin? She applies a lot of those skills. She knows just what to say to the kids.
I think there are many, many times that you become very emotional and you're too close to the situation to remain professional.
I got to tell you.
I don't know about her case.
My wife's really good.
But that's my feeling.
You know, hey, God bless her. I'll say one thing for my wife. She knows how to raise kids. I got nice kids, and I don't take any of the credit. I know it can't possibly be me. I don't give enough input.
You've never heard one bad thing said about your children?
Never.
Maybe people just don't say it to you. Have you ever thought of that?
I have great kids.
Have you ever thought of that?
No. I don't want to think about it. I'm not really interested in their negativity. I really have wonderful children, and I have a wonderful wife who knows how to raise the children. That's one problem I don't have that a lot of dudes have. Their wives don't know how to raise their kids.
And they're not helping either? Because they don't know anything?
No, because they're busy making money so that family can eat.
Well, why didn't they choose a better wife if they were going to have children?
Because maybe that's all they could get, because women are so into looks, and they don't look beyond that, and they don't see a guy's personality. And that's the best they could do in life.
The best mothers are interested in looks only.
Yep. Bitches.
Very funny. That makes a lot of sense.
It does to a lot of guys. Didn't that make perfect sense, you dudes? Sure did. Like we have a choice on what women we get.
5 former security guards of Michael Jackson say that they were fired because they saw too much. They have given information to an attorney that seems to show some shady movements by Michael Jackson over a 5-year period.
Security guys are great, huh? You hire them and then then they squeal.
If you fire them, they rat on you.
Yeah, it's great.
They say this all occurred while Michael Jackson was, I guess, still living at the Encino home of his parents, that house that now his parents live in.
See, these security...
They say that they would often see Michael sneaking young boys, always young boys, onto the ground.
I mean,
checking to see if his parents were away or already retired for the evening before sneaking the boys into his suite, and then making arrangements to sneak them out of the house early in the morning before the parents would become aware, sometimes stashing them in a garage until these escapes could be made.
Well, I'll tell you something. These security guys who now come forward, where were these guys? I was saying to Robin this morning, I said, you got these security guys. Where the hell were they all these years? If they saw that Michael Jackson was
Why is it only a bad thing after you're fired?
Yeah, wouldn't you come forward? I mean, is there no decency left?
You see, why would you work for a person with such despicable behavior if that's what they're doing? No. They talk about one young Asian boy that was kept in the guard shack on the compound until the singer called for him later. The activities always involved boys between the ages of 9 and 14. The guards say often they couldn't understand why the parents of these young boys would agree to allow their children to be out at that time of the night.
Yeah. Right.
But they only kept these questions to themselves.
I think there's some people who actually think Michael Jackson has a right to be with young boys. You know what I mean? It's like, well, he's a superstar. It's okay.
He deserves.
He's
earned that right.
Yeah. Sold a lot of records. After all, that's important.
Yeah, 100 million records. Give him a couple of young boys.
Yeah, you want a young boy? Go ahead. Who's going to complain?
Well, here's one of his attorneys, Bert Fields, who was at court yesterday trying to keep Michael from having to testify or give depositions in the case of the 13-year-old boy who has filed a civil suit against Michael Jackson. But after hearing arguments from both sides, the judge did indeed set a court date.
This is his lawyer?
Yeah.
Bert Fields?
Bert Fields.
What is he feeling? Bert Fields.
He knows in general what's going on, but we try not to pressure him with a lot of decisions about whose deposition to take and what sort of motion to make. I mean, those are things that lawyers decide in any case. They usually don't run it by the client.
Yeah, don't bother him.
So that was in answer to the question, does Michael know what the heck is going on here?
No.
Don't bother him with that stuff.
Don't bother him for that.
Meanwhile, the attorney for the boy, whose name is Larry Feldman, says he's very happy that he's going to get to question Michael Jackson.
The court has ordered his deposition. That's exactly what I told you legally was going to occur. So Mr. Jackson will come to me rather than me to come to see him, which is of no moment. What is of moment is if we can have a medical exam of Mr. Jackson. That's what we want, and now that the stay is lifted, we will go through the formal discovery process to legally request that physical examination.
Dude, I hate to burst your bubble, but you're never going to get to deposition him. He's not going to come back to this country.
Much less examine him.
Yeah, it's just not happening. He's never coming back.
I love that lawyer lingo he gets in. That is of no moment. What is of moment?
Yeah, that's weird, you know. You got to learn all that when you're a lawyer. It's cool, because I got a lot of lawyers. They always talk like that.
I'm like, what moment are you talking about?
Dudes. You know, I'm a dope.
The moment that he got the boy, or what?
Dudes, I'm paying the bills, but I'm a dope. What are you doing? What is that?
Just what
the
moment
court has ordered his deposition. That's exactly what I told you legally was going to occur. So Mr. Jackson will come to me rather than me to come to see him, which is of no moment. What is of moment is if we can have a medical.
It's a whole.
That is of no moment.
But that's how they charge you $300 an hour.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, if they didn't talk like that,
you'd be able to do it yourself.
Yeah, you know, hey, any dick can speak English. It's, you know, you got to speak legalese. And lawyers give me the heebie-jeebies. They really do.
Why?
Because they remind me of sharks just swimming around in the water, waiting to file anything against anyone at any time that they can get their hands on, even the most frivolous, ridiculous thing. It's just, and they all have that stupid lingo. It's just a pisser.
Yeah, and they only get to use it, of course.
Yeah.
If they're filing something.
You got a country, the United States of America, where 70% of the world's lawyers live here, and they're all looking for money.
They got to do something. Got to keep them busy.
Man, there's only so many Joey Buttafuoco's to go around.
Speaking of celebrated trials, the trial of Lorena Bobbitt, the woman accused of cutting off her husband, televised.
Oh, it will be televised.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Yesterday, a judge said that the 3-day trial in Manassas, Virginia, which can start on January 10th.
January 10th?
Yes.
That's 2 days before my big birthday show.
No, it isn't.
Don't tell me you're not throwing
There's no birthday show this year because we're taking off.
Yeah, you'll have it when I get back. I know you. You're not going to disappoint me. Go ahead. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm a little tired, I'll tell you the truth.
Go ahead. I never get tired of the birthday show. Go ahead, yes?
Bob at 24.
Bob on it.
I understand, has decided she's going to plead temporary insanity.
Yeah. That's an interesting play.
Caused her to cut off her husband's penis. She said she was prompted to do this after he was cleared of those charges.
Yeah. How do you explain that?
On November 10th. So what is she going to do now?
Well, now she'll come up with some other cock. Pardon the expression.
Still pleading her case that she was terribly abused during her marriage. But we will see it on television, at least. That should be fun. I'm looking forward to it now.
How about you come over here and give me a rub down during the news? What else is in the news?
Joey Buttafuoco will be in a courtroom once again.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Excuse me, Your Honor. You're the greatest judge that ever lived.
We know Joey's lawyer.
You are the greatest judge that ever lived in the history.
He's expected to plead guilty to 1 count of disorderly conduct in district court this morning out in Nassau County. This in connection with the charges against him involving a young man who was driving by his house. Remember that?
Yes.
Joey chased the guy and hit his car or something with a bat. The boy was driving by. Joey apparently getting very tired of all the harassment from his celebrity status.
Your Honor, I think Your Honor could certainly understand in his infinite wisdom that Mr. Buttafuoco has been through a lot. These are not normal circumstances, Your Honor. The man has suffered long enough.
He's expected to plead guilty, and
if His Honor would look at the record of Nassau County, how many people have been up on reckless endangerment charges have gone to trial?
Why not? Because the sentence is only 15 days in jail.
Exactly. Why should we bother with the judge? Would you like a bonbon? You would like a bonbon? Okay, I'll go and get some. Your Honor.
I got some in the car.
Yeah, I got some in the car.
They say that John F. Kennedy Jr. and Daryl Hannah are split up.
What's the crime there?
As proof, they have a picture in the paper today of John and some new girl sitting on the curb watching the marathon.
Boy.
A couple weeks ago. And they say that he kissed her in public.
Oh, he's just like the old man. Isn't that amazing? His old man wasn't around to raise him. But boy, oh boy, it's in the genes, those Kennedy genes.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he met some other Kennedys. They all had the same disease.
My God almighty. I can't believe it. They all get these girls. Mama Lucian.
Why are you complaining?
Because I'm not getting them.
Oh,
that's why.
Because I say to myself, you're always complaining that you don't have this life.
He should have gotten married way too young.
I just thought you'd like to keep up with his dating antics. This is interesting. A prestigious German university has used more than 200 human corpses.
Is that right?
Including the bodies of 8 children in automobile crash tests.
What's wrong with that?
Only the Germans.
It is only a useless body. It is not as if it was the body of someone alive. The Jews are so sensitive.
The university...
Did you know they were Jewish bodies?
Oh, stop it.
The last 8 left in Germany?
The university that was doing this says that the test on children's bodies ended in 1989, but it's continuing to use adult cadavers.
I love to watch their skulls fracture against the windshield. It's so much more lifelike than a dummy. Mina.
They say that all the corpses have been used by permission, and the children's bodies were used by permission of their families.
You cannot tell the difference when you see a mannequin getting its head broken. You must see it on the human body to test the cause.
I'd like to meet the parents that donate the children's bodies.
Who would do that?
Who in their right friggin' mind would do that? Imagine you have a dead child in your arms and you're saying about it. Wait a second. Excuse me. We need a crash dummy for our tests.
Oh, take mine.
Take my kid. Is there money in that? I mean, as long as I'm grieving, why not? Wait. Why don't we just give the cadavers of the young children to Michael Jackson?
Oh.
Allegedly. I don't believe it.
Yeah, Michael Jackson used all these bodies by consent.
Not necessarily.
No.
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we?
Yeah, we will.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said, why haven't more people come forward? And I do say that apparently, if this is true, a lot of parents gave their consent.
That's right, Robin. Very interesting.
Also in the news, Saul Wachtler, former chief judge of the state of New York, now in prison on charges that he harassed a former lover, was stabbed by one of the other inmates.
The inmates have something against judges, I think. It's their basic nature.
He's serving a 15-month term.
Didn't you think he was in like a country club prison?
Well, I'm now looking at the makeup of that prison, Howard.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Butner Institution.
Now, here, the Butner. It's the Butner Institution. A lot of Butner going down here.
It includes...
Judge Wachtler looked good.
39% drug violators.
Yes.
16% robbers. 7% property offenders.
Yes, sir.
16.8% firearms offenders.
Yeah.
And arsonists. 4.2% sex offenders. And 1.4% white-collar offenders. So, not a high population of white-collar crime.
Now, Judge, you don't stand a chance. So let's just say I call you Lucy. And I offer you protection at the usual rate of payment, which include your butler.
According to sources, the stabbing occurred on Sunday night. The judge was in his bunk with his back.
I'm not, Lucy. I'm falling. I'm in my bunk.
Or he was facing the wall, laying on his side, listening to his radio. He had, I guess, headphones on.
Think he was listening to us?
It was Sunday. We weren't on.
Who are you listening to? The Better Turn?
And drifting off to sleep when someone came in, pushed a pillow down over his head, and then he felt 2 sharp pains.
Now, hold still, Judge Wachtler.
In his back, and then felt the oozing of blood. He ran to the door and said, "Stop, whoever is running in the hall."
In the name of love.
Officials at the prison are now investigating whether it was a screwdriver that was used.
Yeah, that was no screwdriver, baby.
To create the puncture wounds.
I done missed my target.
They are described as not serious.
Well, it could have been worse. I ain't Lorena Bobbitt. Judge, you still got your business, don't you? I didn't do it. Well, you think they were trying to kill the judge or warn him?
Sounds like a warning since...
Yes. Robin and I both served time, so we can evaluate.
He wasn't really seriously hurt. Just shaken up a little. And get ready, Howard. We're getting some stiff competition over at Hot 97.
Yes?
They're bringing in Dr. Dre and Ed Lover.
Well, those might be the two most unfunny men on the planet, judging from their MTV.
to 9 in the morning slot.
I'm scared. Yeah, that's tough competition.
Well, they're also bringing in a new zookeeper over at Z100.
Yeah, the guy who invented the zoo.
Well, they're calling this guy and Scott Shannon the Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig of the zoo.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of.
So this is a
they're
real
both dead.
showdown.
Yeah. That's the guy who was in Philadelphia, the Nut Hut guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He had a nut hut. Nut hut. He was a radio guy with a nut hut.
Somebody in the paper today said this is real heavyweight. This is a real heavyweight championship between the two of these guys.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
judging by Scott Shannon's
The battle of the three shares.
ratings, I don't think it's such a heavyweight bout.
I don't think so.
I do question what's going to happen to Ross Bretan now that they've brought in another guy. And very reassuringly, Steve Kingston says Ross will be staying because continuity is very important at this point in time, but whatever shakes down in the future shakes down.
Yeah. Well, I'll go scour the city for someone who cares about that competition. I don't think there are too many people. All right, Robin.
Sounds like wonderful. We always invite radio competition.
Yeah, we love it. Hey, by the way, have a nice Thanksgiving. Oh. Did I wish you that?
No, you didn't.
Oh.
Well, I'm very touched.
I don't know if you know it, but Kevin McMahon informs me that they'll be rerunning the Geraldo show.
Yes, this coming Monday?
It's coming Monday.
After Thanksgiving?
Is that 11:20?
Or is it Friday?
11:26. That's Friday.
The Friday after Thanksgiving, okay.
Right, that's this Friday in L.A., Philadelphia, Vegas, and New York.
Oh, good.
Some of the markets, I guess, think it's visually inappropriate.
And they're going to black it out once again, I suppose.
Yes. Shall we do the plugs? What do you think?
Oh, yes. Oh, let me just talk about Tupac Shakur for a minute again.
That's the rape star?
The rap star who's alleged to have raped a young woman.
Yes.
His lawyer held a press conference yesterday to say that he wants the charges against his client dropped because the police erased some of the evidence. There were some voicemail tapes of conversations between Tupac and this young lady who's accused him of rape.
Mm-hmm.
In which she describes how wonderful it was to give him oral sex.
Right.
And how much she looked forward to doing it again.
Now, who said that that's been erased?
They say that some police who were trying to dub the tapes accidentally erased them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And the lawyer further claims that he thinks that the police basically set up Tupac.
Oh.
Because of his anti-police lyrics, his anti-cop lyrics in his songs.
Well, maybe next time write a nice song.
He has a question as to why this woman showed up a few days before meeting Tupac at his hotel room and then making these charges. Yes. They say that the two met at Nell's, one of these discos in town, a few days before this alleged rape. And Tupac says the woman gave him oral sex right there on the dance floor.
That sounds like fourth entry.
And then went back to his hotel, and they had further relations. A few days later, she returned to the hotel at his invitation, and at that time, she says she was held against her will and raped by him and 3 of his friends.
I see. Well.
So we'll have to see how it turns out. But the lawyer is now saying that since some of the evidence has been destroyed that could have helped clear his client, he would like to see the charges dropped.
Now, who made a copy of the tape? Officer Baba Booey?
Sounds like.
Yeah. Booey. Erase the tape. All right, Jackie Joke Man Martling, where will you be appearing tonight? Are there still tickets available to this?
I'm not sure. I hope not.
Well, tonight there's a big show over at Rascals by the Shore, the wildest night of the year. Call up for tickets in Ocean Township, New Jersey, and go see Jackie tonight. Spend the Thanksgiving Eve with him. And for a good laugh, dial 976-JOKE. Thursday night, December 2nd at headquarters in Piscataway, New Jersey. Go try and stump the joke man. Robin Boyd Gary will even be working.
Where?
He'll be at the 94 WYSP Classic Rock Expo in the Valley Forge Convention Center this Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. And he'll be at Westbury Music Fair this Friday night. That's this Friday, hosting a concert featuring, now get this, my cousin and Blue Oyster Cult, Nazareth, Uriah Heep, and Wishbone Ash. My cousin is in that band. A distant relative. Lead singer.
What's his name again?
I don't know. Eric Bloom.
Some relative. Huh?
Well, please.
He's not going to be at your house for Thanksgiving?
Please. He'll be serving the turkey. Don't miss Stuttering John opening for Jackie the Joke Man Martland at the Pace University Downtown Theater Monday night, December 6th. Show starts at 8 p.m. To get on Stuttering John's mailing list, call 609-546-STUPID. Leslie West this Friday, November 26th at Lone Star Roadhouse. This Saturday, November 27th at Chestnut Cabaret in Philadelphia. Pig Vomit tonight at Legends in Eastchester Road in the Bronx. I was listening to their CD last night. Enjoying it. Don't miss Dee Snider. Oh, boy, there's a musician. You know who's going there tonight?
Who?
Gorillo.
Yeah?
He goes, I think I'm going to go see Dee. He was really good in Philadelphia.
He impressed Gorilla.
Yeah.
He's incredible. He's an incredible performer.
And he's got that dude.
Yeah, he's a lot of dead dudes.
He's got a lot of dead dudes on his body.
Don't miss Dee Snider with Widowmaker at L'Amour's in Brooklyn tonight.
Sounds good.
Also, if you're planning a last-minute Christmas party, now here's a good idea. If you're looking for a great disc jockey, call Scott the Engineer's Rocket Entertainment at 1-800-PARTY-MC. He's the life of any party. And if you want to hire Scott in the New York area, call 718-BAG-5040. Okay. Robin, I'll...
You have a very happy Thanksgiving.
As I hope you do as well. Everybody. Except for Jackie.
Well, yeah, Jackie, you try, but I don't think it's possible.
I'm deciding between a TV and film career. I can't have a good Thanksgiving no matter how hard I try.
When I'm cutting the turkey, I'll pretend it's Robin.
I'm standing there singing into a turkey bone.
And Howard's talking with top people in the entertainment field.
Why can't Ivan Reitman come to my house?
I'd be great in a movie.
You know, one night like a wild movie about my life and joking around and a big party in Oyster Bay.
I could be writing scripts.
Yeah, you know, I could just be punching up scripts. I don't even need to work like this.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of Hollywood wants me to punch up scripts.
I could be a script doctor.
Yeah, just come in and finish it up.
I'd give it a joke transfusion. Why doesn't Schwarzenegger call?
Yeah. How come Schwartz doesn't call?
Yeah.
All right, very good. And we'll everyone have a happy Thanksgiving, even you, Jackie. All right. And we'll see you on Monday.
99.5 WRNO.